Hey, it's Peter Beatty here, and welcome to today's video lesson. Today we're going to talk about why I personally decided to walk away from a service-based business where I was working with clients one-on-one, and why I walked away from that and started selling digital products online. I'm going to talk about some of the reasoning behind my decision behind doing that, and also you may find this helpful if you are also working with clients one-on-one in a service-based business in some way, and you're looking to, break free away from the trading your time for money type thing that you may be experiencing right now, where you kind of have a limit on how many clients you can take on, therefore how much income you can actually generate. Maybe you're burned out working with clients one-on-one, and you're just kind of frustrated and you're not sure what to do. I'm going to tell you my story in this video, and hopefully you can relate to that in some way, and I can help you figure out how to break free from that trap, that time for money trap yourself, and possibly turn what you're doing into a highly scalable digital product-based business where there's really unlimited potential for growth. And that's going to allow you to also free up a lot of your time and really create some freedom in your life so you can do the things that you want to do instead of being, basically a slave to your clients. Now, this is also similar, a similar reason why I decided to quit my day job. A lot of people also, when you're working for a job for someone else, you have a boss, you're basically doing the same thing. You're in that same trap, trading your time for money. If you don't show up for work, you don't make money. Even if you're on salary, eventually if you don't show up to work, you're eventually going to get fired, and really your future is in the hands of someone else, and that's a very dangerous place to be. So if you fall into one of these two categories, I think you're going to find today's video pretty helpful. Okay, so to start off, I've got a little sketch over here on my notepad that I'm going to be referring to just to make sure that I stay on track. So I've got a little diagram I want to show you. And this just represents, let me go ahead and just draw it right here. So this is, let's call this like a hamster wheel, okay? Think of this as a hamster wheel. Those things that hamsters love to run on? And here's us right here. Here's a person, okay? And that's basically when you're working for clients one-on-one, you're doing any type of service-based business where you actually have to show up and do the work in order to get paid for your services. That's basically what you're doing. You're showing up, you're performing a task, you're performing a service, right? You're helping people one-on-one. And as long as you're doing that, as long as you're trading your time for money, then you are actually on a hamster wheel. If you jump off that hamster wheel, the wheel stops turning. So right now you're walking, or in other words, working, trading your time for money, the wheel turns and it spits out income. Obviously, pretty simple formula. So we're going to go ahead and call this formula time plus effort equals money. You stop putting in the time, you don't make money. You stop putting in the effort, you actually show up, you put in the time, but you do a horrible job, well then the equation breaks and you don't get money out at the end of it. Okay, so this is what it's like when you're working with clients. So this is what I was stuck in doing. When I was working a day job, I actually had a nice cozy office job several years back, right out of college. I was an architectural designer. I was basically the guy who would sit at a computer all day and draw floor plans for architects. So I had these architects and engineers in the office that I worked at, and they would design these buildings and stuff like that, and they would come to me with their ideas, and it would be up to me to take their ideas and convey it into like a floor plan or some type of illustration or 3D model to show the client, and then eventually the builders would get those floor plans and they would use them to build the buildings. That's what I used to do. I went to community college for it, thought that was what I wanted to do. But after working in that field for a few years, I started to think, I'm really just kind of on a hamster wheel here. I'm making mediocre income, and if I don't show up to work, I obviously don't make money. There's got to be another way to make income, and that led me to, looking into starting a business. And eventually, I'm going to turn this very long story into a very short one, but eventually I ended up leaving that job for several other reasons, which I'll talk about some other time. But I left that job to start my own business. And that first business that I started was a service-based business. So what I did is I had a lot of skills on internet marketing, web design, stuff like that, video marketing. I took those skills and I started offering those skills as services to other businesses in my area. So I would go to local restaurants, real estate agents, dentists, I would design websites for them. And again, I basically did not gain I gained some freedom where I didn't have to answer to a boss anymore, but I still kind of had bosses. All my clients were my bosses. And I had to, go to their location, meet with them, had to haggle with them on price all the time. They would be calling me. One client would, decide at the last minute that they want to change something on their website. They would call me at like 9 o'clock at night for stupid things. And I was just kind of a slave to my clients. And if all of a sudden I didn't want to work that day, and I didn't show up, I didn't work on a website, didn't meet with the client, whatever, that client would get pissed off and my income would then suffer. So the trap was the same. I was just my own boss, I had clients to answer to, but I was still trapped on that hamster wheel. So a lot of people do the same thing. They get into business because they want to be their own boss, and that's exactly what I did. But you soon find out, it may take you a few years, but you eventually will find out that you are really still just trading your time for money if you are doing something that is service-based. I don't care what business you're in, this is the case. So eventually, I discovered the idea of selling digital products. This was about a year and a half after I was running my web design business. I discovered this little niche online where people like me were taking what they knew in the web design business, taking their skills, turning it into digital products like online courses, creating software programs, and then selling those things as digital products to other people who wanted to get into that business. Some web designers were also taking the work that they were doing in their service-based business, their one-on-one based business, turning it into some other type of product like an online course or a software, a set of website templates, and then selling those to an unlimited amount of clients. So they were basically breaking free from working with clients one-on-one and just selling them digital products, selling them the tools to do their own thing. So I thought, well, I wonder if I could do this. So that's what I did. I took all the skills that I had developed over the years. I took everything I knew as far as building websites for clients, and I said, all right, I'm gonna make a course, an online course, teaching other people who want to start a web design business how to do it. They're gonna learn how to get clients, they're gonna learn how to maximize profits with cross-sells and all these different services and everything, okay? So I started creating online courses, and I launched my first course, and with very little marketing, very little ad spend, and I generated, I think it was around like $5,000 the first 2 weeks, $5,000 in sales. And then I eventually sold that business about 21 days later. So within a 1 month time frame, I made $5,000 in sales from this digital product. And then I took that website and I flipped it on Flippa.com. So my very first month from working with clients to the digital product business model, I made $10,000. Not too bad. So at that point, I became completely obsessed with selling digital products. And I eventually made a full transition from working with clients one-on-one to selling digital products. And eventually I fired all my clients. It took me about a year to do it because I still had projects in the works, but I did it. So here's the new equation. So this is how my business runs now, where I sell nothing but digital products, online courses, software, etc. So we still have the same wheel over here. So we have the hamster wheel, but this time you are not on the hamster wheel. Instead, the hamster wheel is now run by a set of systems that we put in the work to create once, and they continue to run without our input. Okay, so I'm just going to draw some little gears over here just to represent something that is driving this hamster wheel. Okay, so these are gears. Okay, so right here is our business. And up here, we have what is called your sales funnel. Okay, so this is the set of web pages, the set of opt-in pages, sales videos, webinars, whatever you decide to do. These are the things that actually take the traffic that you get and actually convert it into a sale. But you can't actually make a sale until you have a product. So you have one piece of this system is your product, okay? And then the final piece is conversions. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're basically taking our product, our service that we offer, and thinking, how can we actually package this up into a digital product that we can put in the work to create? Once we build a system to actually pull in leads, pull in traffic, convert that traffic into customers, and maybe upsell them on other products and services on the back end. So we basically remove ourselves from the business. So we're down here now. We're kind of managing this whole thing instead of actually being a cog in the system. So we can remove ourselves from the business now. We put in the work once, we create all this stuff, and now we're selling digital products. We don't have to trade our time for money. Now we do still have to do work, obviously, but it's not the day-to-day grunt work that we all really do hate doing. Instead, we start to focus on basically feeding this system that we've built now with energy, with an energy source. And the energy source that feeds this system, I'm gonna go ahead and put a handle on this top gear right here. Imagine someone at the top just kind of spinning it and creating movement in this gear up here in your sales funnel. And all these things are working together to spit out money. Okay? So imagine something at the top just kind of spinning a lever, like I said, all these things are working together, and in the end, profits come out, and we're just sitting here watching, managing the whole thing. Well, what actually is spinning the gears? Like, what is the actual fuel that fuels an online digital product-based business? Well, that's pretty simple. It's traffic. So I'm talking traffic from things like Facebook ads, YouTube video ads, heck, free traffic, your email list, JV traffic, affiliates. That is the fuel that feeds an online business. And you have all these other pieces that work together to create revenue. And you become, instead of a cog in the system, you become the overseer, the idea person, the person that comes up with the ads to feed this system. And this allows you to break free from that time from money exchange. When I finally figured this out, several years back, it was a huge eye-opener for me. I immediately fell in love with the digital product business. I didn't get how this system worked at first. It took me, a few years to totally figure it out. Had some struggles along the way, but I do not regret it at all. I'm totally in love with selling digital products because of the freedom that it gives you and the unlimited scale potential on your income. And the business that you can build, there's really no limit to it. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video. And if you are currently stuck in this time trade for money, hamster wheel of death, then just know that there is a way out. Really think about what you are doing and how can you package it up into some type of digital product. Maybe you have a service-based business like I did, like web design, or maybe you're a photographer, or maybe you're a coach, you work with clients one-on-one. Whatever it is, there's a way for you to package that up into a product that you can sell over and over and over again. For example, you could take the services, like say you're a photographer and you're a wedding photographer. You're constantly traveling, shooting weddings, and you're not making money unless you're out shooting weddings, okay? Well, what you can actually do is you are very knowledgeable on that industry now. You can then take the skills that the photography skills that well, you could start teaching other photographers. You can also take the business skills that you've learned in that industry, like how to actually get clients, how to price your services. Maybe you know how to upsell them to other packages. Maybe you know how to get repeat clients. Maybe you know a good system for getting referrals. You can take all that knowledge that package it up into a system and sell it to other people who want to get into the photography business. So you move from actually digging the ditches to actually selling the shovels. And that is really how you're going to break free from that time for money trade. Another thing, if you work with clients one-on-one, maybe you're a consultant or a coach, whatever industry you're in, you're probably when you're working with your clients, you're probably repeating yourself a lot of the times. You're probably repeating the same things. A lot of your clients, they probably have, similar problems, and you're constantly repeating yourself. Oh, do this, do this, do this. These are the things that you have to do. And what you can do is you can take that common knowledge, turn it into an online program, and then you can take yourself and start selling that to an unlimited number of people. So instead of working with clients one-on-one, well, you create this program, you leverage all your knowledge into a product, an online program, and then you can actually start selling it to people, without your involvement. You don't actually have to be there. This gives you massive scale potential, and it allows you to help more people as well without actually putting more time in. This is how you build a real business and break through that ceiling that has been placed on your income because you're trading your time for money. So just a really quick video on this topic. I hope you found this video helpful if you are currently in this situation right here. If you like this video, please go ahead and press the like button if you're watching it on YouTube. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Also, head on over to my website if you want to learn more about how to turn your skills, your knowledge, your passion, your hobbies, your experience into a digital product-based business. I've got some more advanced training over there. It's absolutely free. My website is yourepiclaunch.com. So head on over there. You'll see the button to sign up for the free training, and I will see you there. So thanks so much for watching this video. My name is Peter Beattie, and I will talk to you soon.